can this be for the greater good? The greater good. Shut it!
How could that be for the greater good? Shut it. All right, we're live, I think. Yep, there we go. How we doing? There's the camera right there. Welcome, everybody. We're back. We're live here for at least a couple hours of drawing. I was supposed to be doing this at 9 o'clock. We had some technical difficulties with the computer here. Had to do a restart of the machine and get things fixed and sorted with Photoshop. Because for whatever reason, Photoshop wanted to be a butthead as well. But we made it work. Good to see you, everybody. I hope you're all having a fantastic weekend. We're, like I said, going to be doing some drawing. And maybe I'll talk a little bit more about some of the characters and everything. As we continue to do these, if people are liking it, it gives me a chance to go ahead and just go through the process of creating something live for you guys to kind of tune in on and see things as it's being made. And the idea here is over the next coming months, we start doing more and more and more, so that by January, when I release probably like the first chapter or so of the one of the stories I'm doing, we should be rocking and rolling. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm gonna go ahead and dive in real quick. As you can see, though, today's numbers are already clear and present danger. They're clear and present on the stream here. So 2 numbers today for the secret numbers. 12 and 9 are the secret numbers. And yesterday we did 3 numbers. We're doing two today, 2 tomorrow, and 2 on Tuesday, the last day of Streamtember. And if you guys have been collecting all of those numbers, they come together to form a secret message. And on Tuesday, I will tell you how we do that, and then give you an email that you guys will email in to tell me your answer. So there we go. So that's coming down to the wire for that. If you guys are liking it, as we've been saying in the past several streams, please do go ahead and chime in and let me know. In addition to that email I'll be giving out Tuesday, that'll also be an email location that you guys can send in emails with ideas, thoughts, suggestions. Not everything can be implemented, but it's always good to hear what you guys are liking and wanting to see. And then if it's something you aren't really liking or not caring for, constructive criticisms is fine, but just keep in mind I'm mostly doing everything that I'm wanting to do. So chances are I'm not gonna be doing stuff that just because people want me to do it, if that makes sense. All right, where is? So I had to set everything up quick. There we go. So I'm gonna be playing some music. This, of course, is gonna be playing in my ears, but you guys can't hear it. Yeah, I don't see it on the sound bar. I forgot to get my... You guys can see me stretching over here. I've got, as always, my laptop ready for backup. There we go. Okay. And for my Twitch backup, get my phone set up. And technically, I was trying a while back to use my phone for backup music. That wouldn't get broadcast until I got the new microphone and the wave mixer. Basically, putting other headphones in, put the clamshells over my... So I had 2 sets of headphones on. Oh, that was a pain in the butt. Okay, so recapping a little bit, last drawing stream, we drew Blathazel here. And you guys can't see the menu. Nope. There's second drawing we did of her. Maybe? Man, Photoshop's really acting up today. Let's try this again. There we go. I must have tried to open the same file. Okay. So we're trying to do a full body shot of her as well, and got a basic, a simple one. I've always had trouble with body stances, like standing and having the body weight and everything settle right. So this was a real fun one for me to do since I haven't been able to pull that off in the past. Still could use a little bit more of like the body weight resting comfortably down on the ground. I feel like I'm still kind of missing some of that weight of how gravity affects the body, how it sits. Some things are a little too, I think, up and loose with her pose. But regardless, I had fun with it, and that's kind of the key point. And I got to try out a little bit of costuming and everything like that. So yeah, and I just wanted to be able to show those. I actually don't remember why this is on this size of. Huh. It's not on my usual drawing size. Okay, menu's over there. Let me pull that down. You guys can't see that either. So 1920 by 1080 at 150 ppi, pixels per inch. So there we go. And I'm going to be smart, and I'm going to mark down the, I'm going to save it so that if we have some issues, we don't lose it. Dasha, good morning to you. Happy Monday for you. The future man, Dasha. I made some buttermilk biscuits today. Dasha, do you call them scones in Australia? Yep. So you guys call them scones as well? Okay. So yeah, made myself a buttermilk scone. How about that? Which I've had scones at a fair lots of times in the past, and I totally see it. I totally see it. There's not much of a difference really, but I love it. Over on YouTube, probably eating right while doing a stream. I thought that scones were biscuit-like, but a little sweet. I could be wrong though. Well, I know with this recipe, it calls for 2 tablespoons of sugar. I put about one, maybe a little bit over 1 tablespoon when I do it. It's 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of buttermilk, 2 tablespoons of sugar is the recipe, and then 1 tablespoon of salt, granulated salt. Oh gosh, is it half a teaspoon of baking powder? The baking powder, baking soda. I'm always forgetting when I say it. I look at the recipe though when I do it, so I don't do too much of one thing or the other. But yeah, one of my favorite things about making it, and then we'll get into drawing here in a second. One of my favorite things about it is once you put the buttermilk and 8 tablespoons of unsalted butter, because the granulated the salt that I put in separate is salt, so it's like so unsalted butter. So we're not doing an over amount of sodium. So I do the recipe with unsalted. Magic, how you doing? I was gonna say I got the recipe right here. Yeah, 8 tablespoons unsalted butter, 2 cups of flour, 2 tablespoons of grain sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 cup of buttermilk. Half teaspoon of baking soda is where I was remembering the half. But yeah, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So, but yeah, I put the oven at 425 Fahrenheit, and when I put the biscuits in, I drop it down to 400 and bake it for 16 to 18 minutes, and perfect. But yeah, when I actually make the when it's all mixed together and stuff like that, basically I have a little rubber spatula, and it's just so easy, just kind of scoop up, and they're drop biscuits. So yeah, you just drop them down on the pan and good to go in 16 to 18 minutes. I like it because it starts off hot, and it does, like, the heat gets on the pan reasonably well, puts a nice crisp underneath the bottom, and then the tops cook even. The top and the middle cook even at that point. Magic, you put an egg in yours to make them fluffer? I should try that. I stopped getting eggs for a while. Because I think you remember I was putting eggs in my my regular bread, white bread recipe. So, all right. So since I had to restart Photoshop, things are going to be kind of wonky, I think, until we get back into our settings. I also have to figure out what the hell is up with me. I have 2 instances of Photoshop on my computer right now, and even in my Photoshop, or sorry, my Adobe, what's it called? My Creative Cloud desktop. It shows that I have 2 active Photoshops on my. I'm like, why is that program not preventing me from having a duplication? So I had a duplication somewhere. So at some point, I gotta uninstall them completely, and then tell Creative Cloud to install a new session of it. I'll have to go through and adjust settings. So up top, yeah, you guys can see it. Always use pressure for size because I'm using the stylus pen. And then always use pressure for opacity. So basically, one helps with the thin and thick of the brush. I'm lightly pressing, press down hard. So yeah. And True Morale, sorry, I didn't say your name on YouTube. How you doing? It's been a while. And again, recap a little bit here. Last drawing stream, we did these 2 drawings of Blathazel. Not sure what character we're going to do tonight, but we'll still have fun. Last night on the 7 Days to Die stream, I talked about also. Sorry, I'm going to separate some stuff here. Pause that. Last night I talked about another story that I'm starting up too. That's going to be more adult nature than even what I'm doing with my comic. This one's going to be kind of like limited art and more story, but I'm still going to do some illustrations with it. That kind of stuff, I'm not sure. Like, I could probably still like show characters and designs and things about that story to a point, but obviously, like, the actual graphic sexual content or whatever is not going to be something I'm going to do on a Twitch, YouTube, or a Kick stream. Although, I don't know, maybe I could get away with it on Kick. But it's called Layer 1 Sketch. But yeah, so got that new new story idea starting up, and it's just basically joining the mix of everything I'm going to kind of continue to work on. Drawing here, another couple of pages written there. All that stuff's just going to accumulate over the coming months into hopefully years of work. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know, let's at least just like do a couple warm-up sketches of poses or something. But yep, we'll see how it goes. I'm really excited, but I'm tempering my excitement because it's like I don't want to like I don't want to give away the content. Like I don't want to give away stuff that I'm not ready to give away yet, plots and details. So it's hard to be excited, tell you I'm excited, but I can't give you the I can't give you it. Dasha, what software do I use to stream to 3 platforms? There's a plugin for OBS. It's trying to remember if it's under right now. Axel F is playing. Yeah, it's a multiple output plugin. I thought it tells you. SE Live. I think that might be it actually. Let me. Stream Elements Live? No, maybe not. I don't know why that seems familiar, but yeah, it's not Stream Elements, it's somebody's plugin that they made, and you had to go to their download to get it off of damn, what's it called? What are people using these days for cloud storage services? They send people to it to get files. God, my brain. I gotta wait for the stream to catch up if you guys know what I'm talking about. GitHub, thank you. I knew Dasha or Magic would get it, and they both typed it pretty much at the same time. Anyways, yeah, so you go there, GitHub link, and get it. Let me see if I can find it, because I hate not remembering. Yeah, it's not Restream, but I know that's one that people recommend. Sorry, and you guys can't see what I'm doing. Whatever happened to YouTube showing that you've watched this video before? Yeah, so like what's frustrating is it doesn't tell you on OBS what the plugin is. Damn, I'm sorry. Yeah, let me try to catch up with you on that, Dasha, just so I can get back to work on this stuff. Yeah. Because I'm sure I could go into the files or I could find something like where the plugin is and stuff. It's just taking me away from the frame of mind. And no, don't apologize, man. It's one of these things where it's like, oops. Sorry, you didn't apologize, but yeah, my brain right now. We'll work it out together because if I had a good focused mind right now, I could obviously just have you guys walk me through going through the files to find it or something. But yeah, stuff, things, and stuff. Boop. All good. I could Google. No worries. I think you got options. Look up OBS plugin to multi-stream. I looked on YouTube first to see what people were suggesting, and yeah, basically, yeah, GitHub download and followed. It was a very basic instruction. It was easy for me to do. So, like I said, there's got to be options. It's just for the sake of me wanting to be accurate for what I have, I wanted to try to see if I could find it real quick. Oh, here's the author. I could give you that if I can find my mouse. All right, that's the name of the plugin author, person that programmed it. Yeah, because the dock itself just says because it becomes an extra dock on your OBS. Multiple output is all it's called. So it's like, Unicorn, how you doing? Art? No, we're talking about technical stuff, OBS and plugins. Yeah. No, no worries. How you doing, Unicorn? Good to see you. You aren't arting. I am. I'm being a butthead. Me and Dasher were talking about the plugin, so you could do multiple streams on OBS. And yeah, I'm being a butthead because we were then focusing on that instead of me actually working on the artwork. And Dasher, you're gonna lurk while you work. All right, buddy. Hey, have a good day at work. Hope your week's gonna start well, man. Again, it's Monday over there in Australia, so in fact, it's 11:47 a.m. Indeed. Okay. So again, we're just doing a warm up, so I'm just trying to get some movement and just do something kind of fun. Wee, extra long fingers. Lady Deathstrike, I don't know. Oh, wow. This person has gloves. Yeah. There we go. Magic, how was the stream last night? Good. I just unfortunately took me most of the day to get comfortable to sit down and stream. But we did a lot of leveling up. We're now in phase 4 of the 7 Days to Die Jack of all trades. And basically just by going into the wastelands, we were able to get a shitload of XP going finally. And yeah, so that ended up rocking and rolling us last night. The hand looks like wonky, but just to get me warmed up. I feel like I'm nervously slamming that coffee down. And I should be having a coffee at 10 o'clock at night. But I will be having a late start to the morning, so. Okay. So, let's do... Was that, yeah, you were up at 1:30 p.m., then at 6:45, you were not around, I was not feeling great, so I went to bed, slept through it. Yeah, no worries. And hope you're feeling better, man. Yeah, I just wasn't feeling good either, and there was a lot of lot of work stuff that just on the mind right now. Got most of that wrapped up Friday night. Didn't stream Friday night, of course, but I was like, man, I don't want to go through another Saturday without streaming. So I got on and I got the momentum, got the energy. So that was pretty cool. And like I was telling everybody last night too, that yeah, I came home from work, slept a couple hours, woke up something around 11 p.m., midnight, I don't know. And got like creative inspiration to work on some stuff. So I stayed up and I worked on that into the night. Laid down a whole bunch of characters, character bibles and scripts and things that link characters together. And so, yeah, I did that into the night, and I woke up and I wanted to work on some of that some more, try to have a relaxing afternoon before streaming. So I did that. And that's where I was kind of like, okay, we're good, we're settled, we're feeling all right. And I went live. Yeah. Okay. Trying to think again who I want to sketch here. I guess it doesn't have to necessarily be anybody. It's just another warm up. Because it's almost like my character Tim Garn, but I think I'm wanting to do someone slightly different. A little bit same, a little bit different. Always trying to remind myself to sketch, just sketch. Leave guidelines in. Doesn't matter if it's messy. Yeah, just do shit and don't worry about it. And I could always it's digital, so I could always do a layer. That's the final artwork. But for whatever reason, sometimes I just want to like dive right into the final stuff. Like sketching takes too long, and I don't know, something like that. So I think next drawing stream we're also going to practice. Practice. We're going to try out. I'm going to put some stream beats music in the background, and I'm going to mute it on my headphone side. You guys will hear it, but I want it at a low enough level that I could talk over and not bother anything. So you guys have a little bit of music going while I'm doing stuff. But then, of course, in my headphones, I can listen to my, the copyright music that I can't broadcast. Again, I miss the days where we could, knowing that I'm not playing copyright music, so I can, I don't know, get something out of it. I don't know. They could take $5 from me a month or something like that. I don't know. It's just so ridiculous that as streamers we can't just like have some sort of a agreement. I don't mind giving up like a percentage of my 50 or $60 I make a month. All right. So I think this isn't 100%, but I think we might roughly have our character for the news story I was starting last night. Make sure that's... Is that right? Yeah, okay. Toss that down a little bit smaller. Okay. A little bit smaller brush. It's still not right. All right, you guys still see me okay? My phone's saying my Twitch stream dropped. All right, nobody's responded. I'm worried that the stream dropped then. At least on Twitch. Okay. See, YouTube says it's still going. Kick's still going. Huh. Well, dashboard says Twitch is still going. Huh. I wonder what happened. Okay. Well, if you guys still hear me, I'll keep going. God damn it. I need the damn keyboard right in my lap, but... Which one was rotating the canvas? I'm trying to remember. I mean, if it's literally R, I'm going to be. It is R. Hold R, release R. Okay. So I got to get back into practice for stuff like that. Over on Twitch, Jakuro Art. Hey, first time chatter as well. Thanks for, I appreciate it. It sucks. Like, I'm mostly right-handed these days. My keyboard's over on my right, so I'm gonna have to do this whole thing. Yeah, see, because I'm wanting to obviously get angles where my arm is more comfortable, right? So, is it there a command for centering it back straight again? What sucks is I used to know these, but I've been so out of practice for years. But yeah, I appreciate that. I like definitely it helps. Yeah, see, like I'm trying to get in there and go underneath my microphone. So if I could just do it this way. Escape to reset the camera. Look at that. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. How you doing today? Welcome to the stream. Excuse me. There we go. Coffee isn't exactly the most soothing for the throat when you're trying to talk while doing stuff. All right, so I don't need to be exact with this. This is kind of one of those sketches that I'm like, hey, why don't we go ahead and do a little bit more too? Doing okay yourself? Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Yeah, it's been nice to get back into drawing again these past several months. Kind of a little bit of retraining myself to do it, but little bit of the riding a bicycle situation. You just get back on, and you eventually remember some stuff. Can count on me. And then again, if I hurry up and get my damn office done and get my desk put together, I wouldn't have this on a wobbly TV tray. I got a TV tray so I could put this. You can't see the monitor, but this drawing tablet monitor to put it somewhere because my ultra wide and my 32-inch monitor and my PC are taking up all of the desk that everything else is on. So I have a little wobbly desk, or not desk, but like I said, TV tray. But yeah, that gets to be part of my day tomorrow. Is work on the office, and we'll get ready to start unpackaging the new Secret Labs desk. Raises up and down, and that'll take some doing to put it together, I'm sure. Then I'll also put together an art desk, so that way we'll be able to do actual art on paper and art on Bristol board and painting work, whatever I want to do, in addition to digital art. You can count on me. Oh, wait. Wasn't I saying I was going to do... Where is the... I'm trying to see if... Chrome... Does it not see the... Sorry, I'm not finishing my sentences as usual. Sorry, that didn't pop up something, did it? It's like one of these moments, too, where I'm hoping I don't broadcast something I'm not supposed to broadcast. Okay, cancel. Where is my... So we talked about this before, but it's like... Well, I can't play the music. I was just like, okay, well, we could at least play, like... Or show, like, the album cover or whatever it is I'm listening to. I don't know, just like something to kind of make it a little bit more interactive. Yeah, so you see the album cover at least. But what I also wanted to do is I wanted to be able to say like display the actual song name and everything like right below it. And we talked about that before too. Like I feel like somebody's got to have a plug-in for things like that for streaming. But it might be like set for like Spotify or something. Like everything I want to do is not necessarily like one of the mainstream ways that people like do things. I always have to do like this oddball way of doing things. Okay. I almost feel like I should give him a little bit more squared off jaw. Age him up just a little bit more as well. Because, yeah, if it's going to be this character in this story I started last night, God, that wasn't last night. That was Friday night. Wow. Time's flying by. Anyways, he's going to be, I think, 21. Yeah. So it's not necessarily about, like, making a really noticeable older age. But all part of what we're learning about when we're drawing characters is a couple extra lines here, a couple extra lines there, and you can make a character appear and look older. However, it's that becomes the ageism talk of you start pointing these things out and people start taking offense to it. What do you mean a few extra lines? You saying I have a few extra lines? Yes, you do. We all do. Let's see, control. Yeah, it's all right. I think if I were to do a final version, I'd put a little bit more substance to the look of the character. There. Add a little bit of more unkept hair look. Oh, I didn't finish down here. Nah, it's not about finishing, I guess. It's just visually I'm wanting to go ahead and do this. Yep, here we get to go. Oops. Chaotic rotation. It's so funny to, like, cross my arms over. Oh, I can't wait till I have to not worry about that. Now swing your partner round and round. Okay. That was kind of fun. So what we got to do is we got to basically just, like, do a sketch, do some line art, nothing to finish or finalize, but it's just enough for me to kind of do in the confines of what we're doing tonight. So I like it. And let's see, I believe, can we grab both? So we call this next layer sketch 2 lines. I don't know, just something to kind of just indicate that they're connected. And we could actually lock them together if we wanted to, but not worried about that right now. Sketch 3. All right. Everybody doing good? Okay. There we go. I'm trying to think of what I want to do next. Let's do one of our character. Damn. Who am I wanting to do? Let's do one of Aneda. Aneda is my warrior elf. B. B for barricade. He can't be serious. Still torn on like exactly how big I'm wanting to make her ears. I think at some point I'm going to have a session where I specifically say, okay, here is the measurable length. Here's what we'll make for that. Similar things of doing is like, what's the distance between your nose and your chin? And, do that again for the top. Sometimes you could do that for like the hairline, depending on the hairline, right? But, yeah, if you take to that, you could find those like different like measurements of things to do. So if I'm trying to think about like what the length of her ears are going to be, the width, the width from top to bottom here, and then how far back do they go? I can lock that in as a comfortable setup. What word I'm trying to choose there? Well, like I was saying, comfortable measurement. Again, trying to remind myself just to sketch. Toss a whole bunch of lines in there. Doesn't matter currently where they're at. Because the final lines could be totally different. It's definitely something I used to do in the past too, which was the heads look like they wouldn't really be correct as far as like where they're sitting on the body. Oops. Did we? There we go. Oh, that's going to come from me kind of getting back into anatomy training, and I'll start doing some more live drawing or something like that. We'll find something here in Atlanta where I can go out to give someone $10 for the session, so you could, everybody in the group can draw someone live, and guy or gal doesn't matter. The point, it's just that you're doing it. The bits and pieces learning that I've had over the years is what really screws me up. Not actually sticking to the training correctly, and then moving on to the next stage, next steps, or whatever. For the sake of streaming, because people freak out, just show you that she's wearing some kind of a shirt or something. There you go. Yeah, it still doesn't feel right. Again, that's why you sketch. Just keep sketching, keep working on the lines, changing the lines, moving the lines. Yeah. Still feels like the head's popping out there. Again, another benefit of digital art. Let's get things where you want it, move it around. Try to do these right. So she got some good muscle to her arms. Doink. Control H, V. So now I can see if... Oops. Dang it, I thought it was going to keep the selection. Here, I'll do it this way. I don't know. Okay. I'm pressing the wrong buttons here. Yeah. It's just squashed. That's a little bit better, at least. She's got long straight hair, and I toyed around with it a couple different times, but she's also done like I've had like two strands of like bangs that are just like really long, and she always has them tucked behind her ear. So then I would do stuff like, okay, well, what if I gave her like a hair clip of some sort? You know, would it fit with the design, the style? I think that led into a couple times where I would, I thought like, was I gonna change the hair color, and was I gonna make like those strips of hair like a different color, and then everything else the main color? I don't know. The characters had a good variety of changes over the years. It's still not looking right. Damn. Hmm. Yeah, when proportions are off elsewhere and you don't see it until later, that can make a difference too. Like I'm wanting to show this other shoulder, but I admire. Watch how I say this. I admire how easily some of this stuff comes to other artists. Easily is also meant in the sense of I appreciate the people that put the work in to understand how things are supposed to proportionately work with drawing, with art and words, with anatomy. You know, like people are able to lock in and see, aha, this is how this is. Cool. Move on to the next. This locks in there. That makes sense. Cool. Move on to the next. And, I made the mistake of learning from comics instead of learning from real life for most of the human anatomy that I know. And I'm paying for it all these years later, but yeah, I think one of the next things is to get my ambition now to carry over to retraining. Retraining, or dare I say, learning the things that I didn't learn before, finally, after all these years. Okay. Once again, I'm supposed to be sketching, not doing not doing somewhat more finalized art. And when I'm doing sketches, inevitably my eyeball light source is always the upper left. It never fails. Okay. Sorry. Double checking my stream again here. When I'm streaming video games, it's easier for me to like have a sense of flow, watching chat, talking to chat, seeing how the stream's doing. And inevitably, like, I get more nervous when I do the artwork streams because it's not something I'm commonly familiar with on how to glance and check everything while also doing the work that I'm doing. One of my friends was suggesting I should just not talk during art streams. I should just do. I've been kind of thinking about doing that, but for the most part, I'm like really staying interactive all the time with my gaming streams that it's kind of another habit that I don't know if I'd be able to. I'm not going to say change, adjust. I'll say it that way. Yeah. Okay. Okay, well, I think that captures the basics of it. God damn it. Okay, let's turn off this one. Yeah, just do it this way. We'll do it live. CMYK, grayscale. Let's do. Damn. Just trying to get some separation in there and look at that visually. hand's starting to cramp up again. Gosh darn it. Philothea, welcome back. I think you guys are back. Man. So I've been doing hand exercises and I'm getting a little bit better on it, but oh man. Just not used to holding a pen or a pencil or a stylus as much as I used to. It's amazing, like as we move away to other technologies, I'm typing all the time on the keyboard. I'm using a mouse and a keyboard and everything like that. And we're not using like pens and pencils as much as we used to. I think is what I'm getting at. Could be different for some of you folks out there, but okay. Oh, it's something else. It's hopefully that wasn't looking too funky for you guys on the screen. I wasn't the program wasn't full screened for some reason. Probably another button I push at some point. Okay. All right, we get to use the R again. Again, Jakuro Art, thanks so much for that reminder. This I mentioned before. This is on 150 pixels per inch. If I were doing something like when we start getting into like the real nitty gritty final stuff, I'll probably do 300. Used to be DPI, but it's PPI now, right? Oh, that's more stuff to learn too. Why something's called one thing one time and changed to another. Like I still kept using Photoshop over the years, but I think like for the longest time it did keep like my old settings and stuff where they were not getting reset, and then finally I've kind of had to adapt to some of the last few years changes to Photoshop's user interface and tools and everything they've got. And so because of that, now there's new stuff that I don't know about. Times it's almost 11. Since I started a half hour late, I'll go a half an hour later, but can't get too crazy tonight. But Greg, can't you get crazy? No. I came here specifically believing that Greg was going to get crazy tonight. that's. I think what I'll be happy with here is that we just kind of get the basics for my character in Ada, and then we'll start working on her again. I'm gonna change some facial structures, and we'll work on the body proportioning again at some point. Oh man. Mama Ara. I haven't seen one of these in action. Really cool how was it how close to hand drawing it? Oh, you haven't been here for one of my digital art streams? I thought you had. Good to see you. All right, and then over on YouTube, Rob Johnson, welcome. Yeah, let's come back to. Now you guys can't see what I'm doing, but I'm like covering up the body. Proportioning's off. I'm not going to worry about it tonight. I think I just, for another drawing of her, I'll do a new stick figure pose and everything like that, and just reapproach it another time. But again, this is a chance for me to kind of get back to doing it live, whether I screw up or I do it, reasonably well. The point is to continue to get that practice in. To recap, last drawing stream about a week ago, we had done character Blathazel. Oh, and here's tonight's numbers again, by the way. Oops. Where's my mouse? Tonight's secret numbers, 12 and 9. Repeat them tonight for you guys. We'll be doing 2 numbers tomorrow, and then Tuesday is the last day of September, Streamtember. And so we'll have 2 numbers then as well, and we will talk Tuesday night about what it is you take those numbers and do, and what email to send it to when you basically unscramble and figure out the secret phrase. I don't know. Mama R looks good. Hair is always difficult. Yeah, hair's always fun for me. That's one of the things for me that like relaxes me, whether I do it right or not. So yeah, no worries. But yeah, Mama R over on Twitch, appreciate that. Over to YouTube, Rob Johnson. Oh no, I mean, thank you, but let's see here. So I mean, to catch you up, Rob, if you're new to my stuff, basically 25 years ago, I was going to get into comics and stuff like that. Life happened, so I didn't really get to focus on it, do it a lot. So I'm coming back to it. I'm kind of retraining now, getting back into it all. And with that, I'm writing and putting together a lot of story and everything on the back end. And so yeah, I guess it's one of those things where at this point, this is a stage of my life, I got a day job and I do gaming, streaming on the side, and now adding the artwork and stuff like that. Basically, this is my goal now to spend the next several months to get kind of the first couple chapters of stuff put together and drawn, and use that as a way to kind of retrain myself to get back into all of it. So yeah, just kind of little background there for you from what you're saying. I have a lot of like anatomy, lighting issues. I have a little bit of color blindness. A little bit, take that with a grain of salt because I don't have a defined reason why I have trouble with color. So basically hue ranges, like instead of doing airbrushed work, doing more flat colors like animation, right? So you'll see a lot of that with my coloring when I do that kind of stuff. But yeah, so it's coming along. It's getting there. Mama, you had modeled for a college art class in your youth, and they focused heavy on hair and flow, super long hair. Nice. Yeah, I was just talking earlier on the stream that in Atlanta here, I'm going to try to look around for some live drawing sessions so I can kind of get in and do it that way. I think I need to just finally give in and get glasses. I was supposed to get glasses this month, but that's going to be a big adjustment because I have to figure out, do I need glasses for when I am doing all this stuff up close, or do I need it long distance? I'm nearsighted, but because I've strained my eyes these past several years, it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm still trying to figure out like is this gonna hurt or hinder me doing my artwork and my projects? But yeah. And Rob, yeah, no worries. It's a chance when I go live here. It's a chance for me to anybody that's new to my stuff, give a little background, a little context, a little history there. But that's like a lot of my art, I just haven't been able to get out there because I haven't done it. And that's really the big thing. I put my hand up and admit is just because I haven't done it. So it's all about finally doing it and getting it out there. See if people like it. Okay. But yeah, so last week we had done this headshot of Blathazel, one of the characters in the upcoming story. We did like a little full body shot so you can kind of see a little bit of the outfit I'm trying to design for her. And then tonight we just warmed up with a kind of a body shot, just kind of get some motion going here at the upper left. You guys can't see the mouse, can you? The cursor. There's something that puts like a little yellow circle around it in OBS. I think I should do that for drawing streams. Okay, but up here, this there is what we did at first, and then what I'm covering up here, kind of a basic guy headshot. I had done a little sketch, and then we went and put some line art over it. And then you guys saw me working on Aneda here, my elf character, this character here. So Aneda is part of the main storyline that I'm going to be doing, and let's zoom in. And so when we get that main storyline, you're going to see her and two other characters. Basically, her and another character are going to be rescuing our other main character. And it becomes a nice little Lord of the Rings style adventure. A lot of walking. Not a lot of action. No, I'm kidding. If done right, it gets to have action. And hopefully an enjoyable story of some character growth and development, fantastical and exciting things. Magic, aliens, angels, demons, technology, all that fun stuff. All right, so I think this would actually just be down here. Try to redo it. Let's see, Mama R on Twitch. The finished project is never good enough for the artist. Our daughters like that. Glasses are worth it. I gave in eventually. It's worth it, but is it worth it? Like the specific reason I need glasses is going to be long distance. I'm nearsighted, so does it make sense to do that when I'm doing things up close here, and will that strain my eyes even worse? So I'll talk to the optometrist, obviously, and I'll try to go through the whole assortment. But these days I constantly feel the strain on my eyes, so that's why it's like I gotta give in and get them again. I had glasses back in 2007. I lost them, and my dumbass didn't get a new pair, and we're coming up on 20 years since then. Yeah, 18 years. I I say it out loud and I admit it out loud because in a lot of cases I try to admit my faults, right? You know, I say it because it's like I'm not trying to skirt around when I talk about stuff like that. But inevitably, some of you assholes, and I say that affectionately, like they give me crap about it. But I admit faults like that because I'm trying to tell people like these are some of the things I'm working on and trying to better. And when people's default response is to tease and make fun of, it's kind of makes me question some of the people I have in my life. Sorry, there's more to this. then I try to gain more perspective, which is kind of funny talking about artwork and vision, eyesight, and all that. Then I try to gain a little bit more perspective. Sometimes people laugh, and I don't mean like falling on the floor laughing their ass off. Sometimes people laugh or chuckle or however you want to put it because it is a processing response that we do when something is out of sync of what we think a norm would be. It's my perception of it. Nobody's told me that this is a condition or a thing or whatever that people do. It's an evaluation I've been having is that people do that when they're presented with something that they think is not being done right according to them. And that not being done right isn't oh my God, you're a loser, you don't do that thing right. It's that, again, it's that pausing mechanism of what you know, it's a reality check, I think, for a lot of people. I've done it too. And so I find it interesting, you know, how then my reaction has been over the years when people do that, because my sensitive ass over the years would then think, okay, well, somebody's making fun of me, so F you. I'm just not going to do whatever this thing is that I was supposed to do because my ass wants to be contrarian to society. So what happens? I don't do the thing I should probably have done, like getting a new pair of glasses within the next week or two after I lost them in 2007. So I we all have our odd quirks that we have. It's that's one of mine is I tend to be contrarian in that regard. Somebody will say you should do this thing, and as soon as I hear somebody say I should do, I feel like they're telling me what to do, and I don't want to have people thinking, oh, the only reason Greg did that thing is because somebody told him, not because he did it on his own accord. It's so funny that's like even a thing that my brain freaks out about. Oh, okay, Mama. You take your glasses off for close work, yeah. And some friends just make fun of love and not taking each other seriously. Yeah, I'm allowed to be sensitive to. No, society says that I have to be a kick-ass. I don't know. I can't think of the whimsy retort to that. Oh yeah, no. I think in a broad sense, I'm allowed to be wherever the f I want to be. Right. I cursed a couple times last week, so I'm trying to tone it down a little. But yeah, no matter what, I'm allowed to be what I want to be. But yes, it's one of those things where it's like if how do I put it? People are allowed to be what they want to be, and they should be what they want to be if it doesn't hurt or hinder other people from doing the same, right? If it doesn't hurt other people or hinder the other people from doing the same, being what they want to be, is my belief. And so the the counter to that is being who you want to be and doing what you want to do. What you want to do and who you want to be may not be appealing or be someone that other people want to be around. So I think I'd rather be genuine to who I want to be than be a fake person, I guess, and fake who I am for the sake of having people interested in me, I guess. I don't know. Now what's that? You're living with a friend like that right now. It's common. We still rag each other. Yeah, see, it's like I can't. Again, I'm a little bit more comprehending and understanding of that when I truly know that somebody is that's their intention. But man, years growing up like this, it was one of the reasons I just shut myself away in my room or away from people or didn't hang out with a lot of people is because I felt like if all we're doing every time we hang out is giving me crap, yeah, about the things I do, then it was like then what am I going out and hanging out with everybody for? Again, that could be a perception versus a reality. Maybe I'm being too sensitive and I was perceiving that people were making fun of me and therefore I set myself up for that unfortunate scenario, What's that? Mamara says, you just don't want to be controlled, and suggestions feel like control. Yep, it does, right? Which makes it hard for me in the streaming sense when I'm trying to constantly engage users to see what people like and want and everything like that. When I think people pick up on that fact that I may be like, no, I'm not going to do that. Nope, no thanks. I feel like people also kind of get a sense that I'm like this, so I feel like it contributes to some of the lack of conversation in my streams. I don't know. We're kind of going off the cuff from some of this conversation. It's still stuff I haven't fully thought through. But yeah, I mean that's just it. It's I'll go back to what I said before. It's yeah, Greg did this thing, but he only did it because somebody told him he should do it, right? So it's really that other person that should get credit, and maybe it's about credit and validation sometimes. So it's like, yeah, but he only did it because somebody told him. I think is again that background innate fear I have. Nobody will think that I'm truly wanting to do this thing. Yeah, I wish I had some better examples of it though, so I could elaborate further. Okay, let's go to that layer. So now we can go to the different layers and kind of trim away. Still kind of wonky, but yeah, I think our breasts are off now that I've changed up the shoulders and everything. Oh well, it's okay. This is how discourse goes. Exactly right, and I mean, and that's like old me versus new me now too about doing live streams, right? And wanting to be able to say the right thing right off the get go, you know, act like I got it together. but I do think the more people that stay, I think, do understand that I am just trying to be as genuine as possible during my streams and during my conversations, even if I'm not fully saying everything as clearly as I would like to say. What's that? We learn about each other by talking about real life stuff. Exactly. Exactly. All right. So, Aneda, just like a quick little black and white sketch here of her. Later versions, you're going to see. So you can see I got some muscle to her arms, right? You know, she'll have the deltoid and bicep strength, shoulder strength. We'll keep that in there. Leg strength when you see me do a full body. But yeah, well, I think one of the things for her is keeping that stern face. She's going to be kind of the straight laced warrior elf in the group, get things done kind of character. For the most part, she doesn't have time to goof around and stuff like that. It is mostly about the mission for her at this stage in the story. And her companion, Lily, is basically the Gabrielle to her Xena. They're very much a homage to Xena and Gabrielle, these two characters, Aneda and Lily. And the idea here is to essentially have what I thought Xena and Gabrielle were doing, which was not each other, but okay, that too. But what I'm getting at is that Gabrielle helps soften up Xena a little bit, you know, the lighthearted, to enjoy life and to be able to appreciate a lot of things in life because of Xena's hard past. You know, she sometimes is punishing herself for her past sins and everything like that. And in a small way, my character Aneda here does the same. A little bit of brooding, a little bit of punishing herself over past situations. But my character Lily is that character to help her kind of soften and loosen up a lot of that stuff. And at the same time, Aneda is helping Lily, you know, become a warrior, identify problems, solve problems, you know, and do everything, even in her own way, to be able to do all that stuff. So then we introduce, you know, the human outside element of our main character Tim Garn. They're all three of the main characters, but he's through the audience eyes main character. So now you got kind of a bumbling, nerdy, not idiot guy, but you know, it's just like he's just nothing like either of them. And so it becomes that third element that introduces even more aspects to their lives. It becomes that journey of you got a mission, you got a serious thing, but at the same time, like to this human, they are fantasy creatures and stories he's read and watched movies and cartoons and comics about, you know. So when that something like that is now real life to him, it's both frightening and a fascination. And he, I think, kind of helps the characters of Aneda and Lily and eventual other characters kind of learn to appreciate the world that they have in general, because the world that they're in, they're always constantly fighting against the undead hordes and all that stuff, you know, the demons and all these evil creatures. And Tim's going to be the character that kind of, along with Lily a little bit, to show like the appreciation of what they do have in their world and what they could strive and work towards is kind of what I'm getting at. So between the three of them, that's going to be that nice little like trifecta of my main three characters for the story. Go back to chat and Twitch magic. It's being human, not rehearsed dialogue, some more genuine. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I mean that's part of me is I fumble over my own words all the time. It's one of these things where it's like I'm glad I have as much learned knowledge about my day job as I do, because at that point in the moment, I can speak confidently about something that I am very practiced in. 25 years of the job that I'm doing, of the contract I'm working on, it's like it pulls from the other 20 years. The 5 years I'm doing now pulls from the other 20 years of knowledge and everything. So that's why I also talk about, like, had I applied all of that into art and story and writing and everything like that, man, I would love to have the skill and the knowledge and the training in my artwork that I do in my day job, and the ability to sit and do and accomplish and get done that I do in my day job. I wish I could, and I do kind of now apply it a little bit more to these extracurricular things like my artwork. And what's that, Mamar? You're right. They're two sides of the same coin. You mean like Hercules and Xena? Or sorry, Xena and Gabrielle. I was talking about Hercules and Xena earlier, and then Kevin Sorbo came up, so I was like, all right. But yeah, Xena and Gabrielle. Yeah, that's what makes them so fascinating to me. Is that there's just something really just enjoyable how they set that dynamic up. I mean, let's go ahead and say it. So, like Hercules and Iolaus, if I'm saying the other character's name right, like when they introduced Hercules as companion in that whole like story universe that Sam Raimi and Rob Tappert were producing, they added a little bit of that dynamic too. But I also felt like both Hercules and Iolaus were trying to do the whole the masculine thing, like constantly between both of those characters. They had their subtle differences, but when you got Xena and Gabrielle, you definitely had a personality difference between those two characters. And as the seasons went on, you started seeing them adopting both of them. So I felt like there was a growth in the characters that they earned. And maybe there was a little bit with Hercules and Iolaus, but and again, I apologize if I'm forgetting his name wrong. The Hercules' companion, the guy with the curly blonde hair. So on Twitch, an ad's about to start up. Or was it snoozed? Yeah, Magic's in the chat here, so he might have paused it. Oh, where is... There it is. Okay. And if you did do that, Magic, I appreciate it. So, yeah, because I got to wrap up here. So basically, what else I'll say? Like, yeah, so with Aneda here, again, she's gonna be a get the mission done kind of gal. You're in the middle of talking, so I snooze. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna be wrapping up stream. Oh, and let me also stop any raids here. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap up stream before we, I guess, push all the snooze options. There's only 3 of them, right? I was talking before, but there's going to be a cold open for the story, and on the next drawing stream we do, I think not next Sunday because I'm not doing Sundays after tonight. That was just a stream timber thing. But the next drawing stream we do, I think we're gonna start drawing that cold open. So we're gonna start working on actual comic book art pages. But I'm still thinking it's all gonna be single artwork, maybe 1 or 2 panels. And what I mean by that is a comic book. It's taller than it is wider. Like, was that 9 inches by 5 inches, something like that, give or take. The comic book itself, you flip pages and you've got, if you're reading American comics, upper left to lower right, top, down, like a Z formation. I think what I'm going to do is I am just going to strictly stay to, like, clicking on all the wrong stuff. There we go. So if you look at all the area that the white border of this drawing is at, that's basically I think the aspect ratio of what I'm going to do is going to be within that kind of size. So it's going to look good on tablets. It's going to look good on PC, and I might do a different format for mobile. We'll see. In fact, what we'll do is this. And I promise we'll wrap this up before we have to have the ad jump in. Okay, just make sure I've got the... So basically, if you think about this entire thing as the artwork, right? Like the story. This is like one panel, because like on a comic book page, you've got like panels like this, right? At the very basic and generic sense, it's going to be like this, right? But on what I'm looking to deliver, you know, it's going to be a wide format that's going to be on your screens, and everything I'm going to draw is going to be on this one image. I don't know why I'm giving this sketch, because you guys can't see what I'm doing. Anyways, everything I'm going to draw is going to be in that one image, and I'll put the word balloons, the conversation, everything in that moment, in that scene. And you could think about like what's in a panel here is going to be this whole thing here for what I'm drawing. So, I mean, I guess it's more like this, right? But yeah, so everything's going to be that kind of format in one image versus doing the panels. I'm moving my hands like you can see, but you can't. Oh, that's another thing I'm going to try to do with my second camera is we'll try to have a top-down view, and we'll arrange OBS that way to take it. Yeah, thank you, Magic. Okay. So that's the plan roughly now, is everything is going to go on one particular image. And you guys could see that image by image versus panel by panel on a page. If I ever do like a printed version of the book, one of my ideas is, let's see, you can see over here. Say it's a new page. One of my ideas is to take everything I've got here. If I'm going to put it on a comic book page printed, you get 1, 2, and 3. Let's say I fit that accurately. But yeah, you might get it like that, where it's like 1, 2, 3 printed on the page. And so the cool thing is like everything I've formatted in this here, you know, at a 16:9 aspect ratio, by the way. Basically everything that's in there should allow me to put it into 3 different versions per page if I'm going to go ahead and do a printed version of this. The only way I'm going to do a printed version of it is I see what I'm finishing and getting done. That's my responsibility. I have to get it done. But I have to see traction enough. People have to show interest that they actually want to have a tangible physical copy in their hand, printed on paper. Otherwise, yeah, everything is going to continue to be this 16:9 aspect ratio. Think like what, 1920 by 1080, right? I'm still learning a lot of this too, so feel free correction or kind of work with me on how I'm saying this. But yeah, that's basically the idea, is fit it all in there. I'll have a better example, I think, on the next drawing stream as well, of what we're gonna do. Actually, I can do it right now, and we do still have time. Magic's got one more snooze to give us. All right, let me see if I can find an image. All right, images. Okay, and paste. Look at that. Doesn't that look like it belongs? It's at an angle, but I'm going to use that specifically for a reason at an angle. All right, we got another layer over top of it. But yeah, so I mean, like I was saying, from that one side to the other should be a 16:9 aspect ratio. And so if you're holding up a tablet, everything in that one story panel is going to be within that spot there. So if that hopefully it's making sense to everybody. I'm trying to adapt and adopt everything to fit with current technology, right? The only problem is mobile phones. I could still do it for a mobile phone. I'll just use mine here. But the idea is turning your phone sideways. A lot of people want tall. And if that's really the case, I have to gauge it out when it happens, but then I'll probably look at reformatting some stuff and see if I can pull it off. But the overall idea is that I'm going to have all my artwork fit within this kind of context for each scene that we're continuing to do in the story. Anyways, that's my babble, and I'm sticking to it. Hopefully that makes sense. Didn't turn out too bad. Yep, the torso and everything's kind of wonky, but oh well. Let's move that a little bit more. There. This way you guys get to see what we worked on tonight. I'll be sharing this on Patreon and in the Discord. Discord access is through paid Patreon supporters. But if you guys are looking to support on Patreon, please feel free to sign up for free. Patreon.com/Greg Scott Bailey. All right. Posting it in all 3 of my streams. Last news is going. Appreciate it. Yep, we're wrapping up. So patreon.com/Greg Scott Bailey gets you to my Patreon. Right now, all updates are going to everybody for free that is signed up on that Patreon. So feel free to head on over, sign up, and help us get to 50 supporters. So I think we're at 44 now, so we're getting pretty close. And then if you guys feel like contributing, feel free to hit the tiered support and support that way if you want. But as I go into the coming months, we will start to put I will start to put like some exclusive stuff on the Patreon itself, like I said, for the free members as well. Some story character like background highlights, some extra artwork that we obviously aren't doing on live on stream. I'm also going to be doing on the back end, so you guys start seeing more of that. I think in the coming weeks we're going to get character bios for like Aneta, Tim, and Lily, so you get to see the 3 main characters in their first story. And then after that, the bios for some other stories I'm doing. I'll start putting those out as well. So I appreciate the chit chat tonight. I think we had a good time. And I certainly love where things are going. We're finally getting there after several years. So thanks so much for the help too earlier on YouTube again. Appreciate you guys coming in, chatting, asking questions. Back here on Twitch, like I'm singling out. Back on Twitch, I do again appreciate the is it Jakuro art reminded me about pressing R to rotate the canvas. So that helped out a lot tonight, and we're gonna start committing that to memory. Next stream is tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I can't remember if it's 7 Days to Die or Valheim, but yeah, just a heads up there. But we'll be doing 7 p.m. streams Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then we'll see TBD on the start time on Saturday when the Saturday stream will be. We'll be doing at least 3 days of Valheim and possibly a drawing stream, and then our 7 Days to Die public server and Jack of all trades next Saturday. We'll be doing another long Jack of all trades next Saturday if we can pull it off. So appreciate y'all. Thank you for coming out tonight. As always, thanks to lurkers, people come in and don't chat. No obligation to do so, but I really love chatting. So feel free to chime in if you have a question, comment, or concern. If you don't have a topic, I love talking about comic books, TV shows, movies, and of course, whatever it is I'm streaming. So I appreciate each and every one of you, and as always, we'll see you on the next adventure. All right. Bye-bye.